Let's talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Let's Talk, and it's our Friday show. First things first, we are doing Afrocentric. All of us. So you need to head to Twitter. The hashtag is EBRU Let's Talk to make sure that you vote for your favorite. And this one stopped. You know, you guys, I made an effort.
I know.
Yes, honestly,
so
man.
please, we all did. We all made an effort. So we all want to win. Also, when we want to help you celebrate Mother's Day. And as we said, we appreciate mothers all over the world. So why not hashtag EBRU Let's Talk and give us the best caption you can give for your mom. Give us the emotions. Tell us what you'd love to say to your mom. And also shout out to the people there who maybe don't have their mom this year, who have difficult relations with their mom. Whatever you would like to say to a mom who's currently here or not, hashtag EBRU Let's Talk. And the best caption, we will be looking through this show, and you will get to win yourself 2 tickets to the Chipukizi show tomorrow at KICC. Yes, that would be an amazing Mother's Day present. Now, speaking of Mother's Day, we have a beautiful African queen who definitely is doing the Afrocentric Friday for us too. She is a brand consultant. She is a marketing strategist. She is a mommy, and it's Sylvia Moraa.
We're so happy to have you here.
You wear way more hats than I could say in one breath. So forgive me. We had to go to with those big punches.
Any, so long as you're comfortable. It's not the titles that define you.
Yes.
It is you yourself.
Happy Mother's Day in advance.
Thank you. Thank you very
Happy
much.
Mother's Day.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to be everything that you are.
Wow, it's been a journey.
And
like you had mentioned earlier, like when we were talking on the side, it's the things of the past that actually define you and build you to who you are. So it was not all roses, like, but it's, I'm trying to think, where do I start? Like, which side? Okay, so I was born and raised in Huruma, so I have experienced the ghetto life. Then I went to boarding in like class 6. That is where you learn responsibility. Like I have to be on my own, fend for myself. After that, I was blessed enough to go to Alliance Girls.
Okay. Woo! Brain in the house.
So there you learn, like, there is life ahead of you, like real life. Because the good thing about Alliance, you're exposed to, you know, the way in high school, you're like, girls stay here, boys stay, like water and paraffin. Totally opposite. As we were being brought together, like watch a movie together, go for outings together. So you embrace that space. Then after that, because I was in Alliance and I'm an artist, I decide I want to do art. Then daddy goes like, say what?
After
you crazy? Like that's what I got. Like, are you crazy? Like, you should be doing pharmacy med, and I'm like, but I don't feel that stuff. So there was a bit of rebellion over there. So I decided I'll follow my passion. So we fell out with Daddy for a while. So I had to hawk in the streets, and then I worked in the EPZ packing soap. You know, like Ushindi Tattoo. Buy 3 get, you know, that special thing.
The hustle.
Yes. So but all these things like built something in me. Like I give thanks for every time I was walking in someone's like hawking, like, oh, you know those ladies who come knock and like, we have an offer today, like, listen, give me 5 minutes. It teaches you humility. That's where I go, like, learn how to be a salesperson, to take rejection. You know, all these things what I learned through that tough life. Then I gathered enough money. I took myself to Mackenzie Art College. So within 3 months, I got a scholarship. And then, I started working part-time as a secretary, and I climbed up. I've actually never had to send my CV. I've just been headhunted.
Look at you!
Until the time I decided, you know what, I can do this for myself. You know, then I started my business. So I went back to my boss, and I was like, you know how I work? I have this idea. I can start this, and he offered to partner. And
question.
Wow.
Let me just ask, I'm always so curious. What were your results in like high school or like I always want to hear. No, people who go to Alliance, there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Okay, you know.
Because you're already,
let me tell you,
you're better than the baseline.
Oh my God. Okay, so when you come from being the top in your school, like you get KCPA and they're like, oh, I got 99 in this subject. Then you go to high school, there is a shock. Then you're meeting everyone from Kenya.
Like the best of the best.
There's trauma, man. You get your...
I get it, man.
And you're like, oh my God, how am I going to explain this to my dad? Like, how can I say I am number, CG where? And all it's been number 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It was traumatic.
Really?
Am I allowed to just say up until there?
Okay, that's fine.
But you know, that's
but
a
an A when you're leaving primary school. Shout out. That's great.
That's a difference
No,
when
it was
you grow.
that was like, it was a defining moment. My dad, I've never seen my dad so proud.
Yeah.
Like he came and then he's like, you got a 99 in English. I saw them steal from you. I'm like, oh my God. You know, and those things that you think like they're impossible. But being in boarding actually streamlines you. Like you get to really focus and know what exactly it is that you want.
Yeah.
So I think that also contributed, because had I stayed in Nairobi, I don't know what, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. But also the formative years of being, that hustle of walking from I don't know where to where also has its own part to play, like in growing up.
Yeah. So you've come so far in this whole journey. Where did your motherhood journey start?
My being a mother in college.
Mm-hmm.
So there is always boy meet girl. In the office.
The typical story kind of
a
thing.
typical story. Then you're like, okay, we plan, we're going to get married after this long. Then you discover like, oh my God, oopsie. Then you're like, okay, we got to do this. Okay, I'm a stickler for like rules. This is what I want for my life. So I'm like, okay, we got to tie the knot. And it happened.
Have the timeline.
How did your parents take it?
There is always like, you don't have to do it. Or like, okay, it's fine.
Well, you don't have to get married.
Yeah, like
So
you don't.
you wanted to tie
wait.
the knot.
Yeah, because I had told myself like I'll hold. You know, there are values that we learn when we're in school. Like I will leave my mother's house. I didn't even live alone. The way guys like after high school you live on your own in campus. I didn't have that experience. So I left on my wedding day.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, so I left
Very
my mother's
traditional.
house.
Very traditional.
So I have 3 boys, Daniel, Andrew, and Bradley, and I lost one in between, like between the first and the second, and even before I had miscarriages, and it's not that easy. It's not that easy because those are some of the things that we go through as women, and then you decide to pack it. But then if you pack it, what it normally does, it comes back at you. Because at the point at which when I lost the baby after my firstborn, all the past trauma came, you know. And it sent into depression. So that's a different chapter in my life. You know? Because you don't know. Like there is this pressure from society, like, hey, you baby number 1, when is number 2 coming? Then you lose it, then you're like, oh my God, will I ever get another child? Oh my God, what are people saying about me? Because it's something, you don't consciously do it, but at the back of your mind is very active. So those questions come. And if you don't get yourself right and surround yourself with the right people, you can actually really go down very, very fast.
Not only that, correct me if I'm wrong, and go as far as you're comfortable, but your 2 sons now are also on the spectrum of autism.
I have 2 children, the second and the third born, who are on the autistic spectrum. So we have Andrew, who gets convulsive disorders. So that means he had a sclerosis in his head. So these are some of the challenges that you go through during delivery. So you know when they say, oh, when you're pregnant, don't do this, don't do this. It was a very smooth pregnancy up until the last few days, because I was a workaholic, like serious workaholic. I was handling the TPS Serena rights issue, and then I was in charge of the project. So you have to take, like, this department, you're the one who you're supposed to be called within a nutshell, you know, this one is here, this one is here, and there were like 10 in one. So the day I just submitted and they signed off, I stood up from my table and I'm like, oops, you know. Then I pulled my boss lady and I'm like, I think I broke my water, but I don't think so because I've never experienced this. I'm like, you know, I don't know what's going on. So we like went to the bathroom. Then she's like, okay, let's just. So I called my husband. I'm like, we need to go to the doctors. I called my doctor. So the waters had drained. So it wasn't like waters hadn't broken, but like some of it came out. So I was admitted. They were expecting for it to just regenerate. Like 2-3 days, nothing is happening. Then they said, okay, let's induce. Induction 1, nothing. Induction 2, nothing. Induction 3, nothing. Actually, my labor was going in reverse. So like it's so tight, painful, then it disappears. So that's when they were like, okay, we got to go for CS. But then I was like, okay, can my husband come in? No, it was still back, it was like 2010. So they were like, no. So I was ruled in alone. Then when I woke up, because it was a full, whatever they call it, I woke up and I'm like, okay, where is my baby? Because, you know, it's that, there's that anxiety, like, what happened? Did he make it? Did he, you know? Then I'm told, like, yeah, he's okay, but he's in the incubator and he can't come out because he needs oxygen. So, like, what happened? No one wants to tell you what happened. So,
they don't want to scare you.
So I just lived through it. Then it got to a point at, like, lunchtime, my dad came to see me and I'm like, I have to see my son. I want to know if he's black, white, yellow.
10 fingers, 10 toes.
Thank you. So when they pulled him out, he turned blue. They had to put him back. And when I got up saying I will go to him, I got this anxiety attack or something like that. My head was spinning. I couldn't breathe. So they put me down again. Then, Then years later, a few months later, I just saw my baby was shaking. So I'm like, this boy has a sweater, has booties. You know, the way us mothers like cover you up like, you know, like
something else is happening.
So at that point, I went, he was having issues with his stomach. You know, when we're being told like, oh, if a baby is crying abnormally, like you have a look at it, because that's one of the things we take for granted. But just like, it's colic, okay, where's that water? Gripe water, you drown it. But what I'd like to tell fellow mother, this is a sign you need to find out. When your baby is like not sleeping well, is crying more than normal, it's a telltale sign for something. Don't take it lightly. So when I told the doctor, he was like, maybe it's a habit, it's going to fade off. And I'm like, okay. 3 months later, I get a full-blown convulsion. I've never experienced this in my life. I have no idea. Like, he starts shaking, his eyes roll back. And I'm like, what do I do? Where do I run? Who do I call? So he had a full-blown seizure. And then after that, it was CT scan, MRI, whatnot, to just try. That's how we found out that he had a sclerosis. So you go back to the hospital like, okay, I was asleep. No one was here. What happened?
It's true.
Nobody knows. Nobody, or rather, nobody wants to tell me.
No one wants to.
I'm like, give me my file. They're like, no, we can only see your file. We don't have the baby's file. And I'm like, but I didn't have the energy at that time to fight hospitals.
Do you feel like these hospitals in Kenya are prepared, like, for babies to...
For abnormal births?
For abnormal births, for, like, how did you feel?
There's that feeling of, I had gone back there because my normal delivery was at least okay. So I went there because it was familiar.
Right, okay, that's true.
And, you know, but then now when I went back and I'm like, okay, this happened. Actually, when I was like getting woozy and dizzy and I feel like my world is coming to an end, that fact that I was put down, like they sedated me first instead of trying to find out what was wrong. Because if it was something else and you sedate me and I react to it, you know, to be a different story. So we should be more investigative. Like if this is, pay attention, listen. Yes, I could be a first or a second time mother, but you know, there is that maternal instinct. If I tell you, I don't feel this is right, listen. But that's the problem. You've had the scary stories of when someone is giving birth for the first time. Actually, there was a video of a woman who went to tell the doctors, like, I feel like the baby's here. They were having tea. They ignored her. I don't know if you saw that just the other day in hospital.
A friend of mine.
The baby dropped. Like she was walking back to her bed, the baby just practically dropped.
She gave birth in the hallway.
On the and like because you're having tea.
Because of that's the thing.
The lack of urgency.
The relationship we have with doctors is we know and you don't. So naturally when you go and you're like, I feel this, I feel that, they tell you, I don't think it's this, and as far as I'm the professional, and you don't know, and I'm so sorry for that. I don't even know what to say. I have no words. But there's something which you touched on, being a working mom. You are literally to the end working, right? You already had one. Now you have 3. What kind of support do you get for you to be able to keep your wheels turning?
I just left one small part. I raised them on my own. I'm a single mother currently. I got divorced 7 years ago.
So you're a single mother, currently a mother of 2, one of which exists on the autism spectrum.
One has autism, another one has ADHD.
So we just added an extra intensity to
a little spice to it.
So honestly, how do you do it? And I'm not asking this because of the stereotypical question, women, how do you balance one life and
sympathy.
I am talking quite literally.
Who are you talking
How are you able to, you know, kind of wear all the hats that you do wear and take care of 2 special needs children and then a whole 3 and they're boys. Boys, full energy boys.
Okay, some of the strength, you know, they say God will not give you what you cannot handle. Trust me, because I left when my child was 3 weeks old.
Wow.
So by that time, you know you're done. like it's a do or die situation.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm going, it's me alone. You see, when you accept, there's something called acceptance
That's
that we
true.
all fight
You can always
against.
handle it.
When you accept, and I'm like, okay, this is where I am, I have two options. I can sit here, beg and cry and say, oh my God, look at me, I'm a single mother, I got 3 boys.
Yeah.
They're like back to back, this one is 6. Who has that energy? I don't, sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
So, and my mother taught me to fight.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to fight, stand, you know what you believe in.
Yeah.
And that's the woman she raised me to be. Like, yeah, you know, the sit up, raise your chin, and like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
the woman. Like,
Yeah.
you can handle it. There's
Yeah.
nothing impossible.
And you're also doing that not only in your personal life, but you're doing it sort of publicly. You're participating in pageants. You also have a foundation that I'm assuming were more inspired by your kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
What are some of the, I guess, the goals you'd say of your foundation or the mission statement?
When you look at the special needs world in out there and here, what I
Yeah.
did, I was at a point where I call it like my Damascus moment, where I had planned. I'm a planner. Like today we're here, like by the hour. That's how I survive. The balance you're asking about.
The organization.
Yes, because without order, by the way, you can't hack it.
Yeah.
So with all the hats, I know today I'm handling this and this and this. So last year I had my year planned out. You know, like this is the it.
Yeah.
Then God decides, that's your plan. I got my own.
I got Joe.
Then you go, okay, so first, like I lost a very close friend of mine. Next, my cousin gets shot by her husband, then the husband kills himself. Next, like we had a photo of that, like, you know, your inner circle. We had 3 of us. Then one had already passed on like end of the year before, like after she got her baby. So I'm like, why is all this happening around me? Then every time there's this lady who comes up to me in church and is like, okay, I was questioning God actually. Why the hell did you give me 2 children on the spectrum? Like, I am alone. Can't you just see, okay, may I have my battles?
Yes,
Yes, you know, like cut me some slack, dude. I can only do so much. So I was at a breaking point with myself. Then he decided, okay, so that I was in church. My son had a meltdown. They're called meltdowns when they're like throwing a tantrum. So I had to come out and I'm like, no, not this moment. You know that moment when you're like on a spiritual alignment, you just want to be there in that space. So we went out. This lady runs out at the end of the service and she's like, God said he loves you and he's sorry that you had to walk out at that point in time. I'm like, what? You know? So when I went for the funeral for my cousin, so now she left like 3 kids, all of them under 9. Wow. So I was with Ashley at a mall in New Jersey. And you know when you just fade off and I'm looking at all these people and I'm trying to think, how are these kids going to survive? Then that lady walks to me, same thing. God says he loves you. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Thanks for the hint.
You know? Then after that, a friend of mine, we were planning for now our first friend's memorial and the daughter's birthday because she died 3 days after the baby was born. We planned next week, we're going, we say hi to the baby, do Christmas. Then a week after, I actually remember we went, we did, you know the way us girls go like wardrobe, no, I want this one, no. Okay, she had leukemia, she had lupus, and no, it's a rare disease that
we've heard it. We've heard of it.
I get a call, that time you're thinking like, Friday, we're meeting, you know, we talk every morning, I'm like, today she hasn't like texted me. Then I get a call like, hey, what's up? She passed on last night. That's
I
when,
feel like these things
my,
have happened in very quick succession.
Yes, it was too fast. So what I did, I just told my sister, I gotta get out of here. Because I was not in no space to deal with my children, deal with all this grief. Everything was happening too fast. So, and then I left for UK. And in UK, everyone I met was like special needs. Every book I opened. So I used to open the Bible to try and just get some strength. And all I was getting is Proverbs 31, 8-9. Be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves and fight for their justice. That is where now the foundation came from. So, and I was at the moment questioning why he gave me the children. So that was his answer. Like, I love you, I will not leave you alone, but I need you to do this for me. I need you to walk the, you know, walk the experience so that when you talk about it, you're talking from an informed
walk the walk.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask you. You're like a powerful black woman, strong. You're doing
and
this.
the afro is working for you.
The afro is working. Like, Do you have like a good family support behind you who helps you? And did you have to research a lot of all of this that you know your kids were going through, that everything like?
Yeah, when I went to the UK and all this time, so I took it upon myself. From that time on, I was reading about what this autism is. What is it in the US? How do they do it there? How do we do it here? Because I'd walked the talk. I'd gone to all the, because I couldn't afford like a private doctor. I'd gone to K&H. You think it. I tried it.
You did what you could.
You know, like I was trying everything I can. When you're being told you need to do speech, I'm like, dude, one session is like $2,000. I have 2 kids. I have to do OT. I have to do speech.
Oh my God.
And then, okay, special schools is a different budget altogether. So that's when you're like, kill me now.
This would be a good time to go.
You know, like, I can't do this. I can't
about.
do this. But then I sat and I was like, okay, you know what? Who needs most attention? So I'm like, Andrew needs it more because Brad is more like genius. You know, like the ones who look and they'll go and do everything. Yes, thank you. So I was like, if I work on one and then we work as a family, okay. Yeah. As a family in terms of, okay, me and my younger sister are the only ones who are here. My brother is in the US, my sister is in the UK. So when you're asking about family support, I basically have my mom and I had my best friend. Like he had worked with me from my divorce through this raising these kids. You know that one support system, the one that if we have a conversation at 3 a.m., I say Aga Khan and hang up, they get it. They don't ask questions.
The ride or
they
die
don't
knows
want,
what you need.
Yes. So like he would show up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. And that's like the only person, like my kids know this person. And sometimes that's some of the things that keep you sane is that one person like who is always understanding what it is that you're going through.
We all need one of those.
You all,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need that. Because like if I come and I'm telling you the way I feel like, whatever, you will embrace me in that space. And tomorrow you will come telling me like, what the hell was wrong with you yesterday? You know, you understand me for now. This is where I am. I will be there for you. I will embrace you and still love you the same. Not any less, not judge you. Because sometimes that's what a woman needs. I don't want judgment.
To be vulnerable.
Let me be me. Like the day I allow myself to go through it once. Like, you know, when you were talking about that time of the so mine comes like either before or after, but then there is this one day I feel I can't deal. So my secret is I let it be. I will lock myself in the room. I'll put Netflix.
Accept that it's
tell my boys, mommy is tired, and they will sit right. You know, I lock me in. If I want to cry, I will hold my pillow and scream. And when I get out, because sometimes you cannot. It's not, okay, we always say we cannot allow our children to see it, but you need that one day to just let it out.
The mental health.
Mental health is very important.
Up.
When you just put it in, it will become a monster that you cannot put down. So when you come, so I've already learned, remember I had gone through depression, suicide attempts, you know, back after the child love. So I can identify with that feeling.
So
I can identify. So the minute I hear that monster, you know that self-talk of like, you're worthless, you used to like, look at you failed in this.
Creeps in.
You try and now like self-affirmative.
Yes.
It's not always easy, but you just remind yourself like, hey, Sly, watch. Do you know where you were last year? Look at where you go, girl. Sometimes
you acknowledge your growth.
You have to do it yourself. You don't have someone else to do it.
So at the end of the day, this is your journey. This has shaped you. Would you ever change it in any type of way? Like this is who you've become.
I don't think so, because every element, you see, now I can survive all these things that I have to do. I can plan them because I went through that depression, that suicide attempt, that realization that God has called me for a greater thing. That's why I didn't go the time I wanted to go. You know, it's His law, not mine. You know, so that brings you to alignment of like, okay, this is where I am. And the thing is, when you go through challenges, learn something, pick something out of it, let it build you, let it be like a building block. Step on it and climb higher. Don't like, okay, now this one came, okay, let's go sit down and try and figure out how, you know, like just look. And then I always say, like, I sit and worry, but if you worry, it's like a rocking chair. You'll just rock. You're not going nowhere. So you better get onto your feet and move. If you're down, crawl if you must, but keep going.
Let me tell you, when I hear someone talk who handles things that I don't think
that
I'll
we
be able
can't
to handle.
imagine.
There's like, I feel a little overwhelmed because you're a woman just like me, but you're somehow managing mountains and hills that I don't know how I could.
You have more hours
Now
in a
you
day.
are attempting to add another hat on all of this. You have a pageant coming on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So this I'll be representing Kenya in Miss Africa 2020.
Of course you will.
So the journey starts, like, it has already started.
Yeah.
So like now we're gathering the votes, but I have to, what the African, it is not Miss with M-I-S-S, it is MS, meaning it engulfs all of this. Yeah, you have a child, you've been through this, you've been through that, but you stood and you can actually do something, give back, embrace. So that's what it is all about. So it is there to show, like the way you're saying you can't handle it, but like I'm here, I'm
Any
not
woman
dead,
can handle it.
you know,
I love that.
You know, Africans, we're strong.
Yeah.
We are strong. And you're stronger than you think.
Yeah.
It's just that maybe you've not like been
I've
thrown
never
to the
faced
full,
it. Face that
you know,
thing.
you have to face your fears for you to be able to identify that you can.
One of the, I mean, I feel like if I was going to be part of the pageant, I'd have to ask you this idea that you've dealt with miscarriages, you've dealt with people, you have your sons with autism and ADHD, but do you think that have people treated you differently because of this? Like, have you ever experienced mistreatment as a woman?
As a woman, sometimes, most of the time, I'll give you an example. I went to renew their passports. So different people behave differently. There are those who look at when a child is like having a meltdown, they're like, you're such a bad mother, are you not doing
They don't
this right?
understand
There
it.
is that embracing of special needs people. So actually why I entered this pageant, I want to use it as a platform. A platform to educate society that special needs and neurodevelopmental disability exists. So we better stop saying you've been bewitched or you've been done. You know, that's stigma.
The understanding here isn't as powerful as it could be. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's amazing to be able to bring that to Kenya because I actually did volunteer work with special needs people, and special needs kids are like the most disenfranchised people that exist, unfortunately.
Yes. So I want us to embrace disability. It's no longer disability. It's just because they're different. And who said what's normal? You're different in your own way.
It's true.
So we'd rather focus on seeing the ability in these children and even the grown-ups, other than the disability of the diagnosis that they've been given.
Absolutely. I have a baby cousin who's autistic. I had another cousin who was epileptic, and I have seen different there were different generations. They were from different, like, you know, one's raised in the UK, one's was raised here, and it's so profoundly different for someone to come here and say that they want to make a change here so that those children can have the best possible chance of a happy, healthy life. That's absolutely amazing. You are so inspiring.
Yes.
Absolutely
What a
inspiring.
great Friday.
And yes, we did get a comment from a lady who says that your story is very inspiring. That's Vera Ouma, who says you have an inspiring story, and she absolutely does. So thank you so much. Now, please, can the director please tell me who won the Afrocentric so that we can go home and party for Naomi's birthday?
Happy birthday, Naomi.
Who's the winner? We'll get the winner in a minute.
We're gonna count down.
We won't be having a game today because
we wanted to listen. We wanted to listen to you.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. I didn't want to do it.
Sorry? Dana got 35% and
35.
Dana is the winner!
Dana's the
winner!
Honestly, I genuinely, the moment all of you stepped on stage, I was like, I'm last.
It's the bees. It's the
Team Lydia, how could you let this happen?
Team Naomi.
We are going
Hold on. I would like to dedicate my winning to Naomi, the birthday girl.
Yay!
I cannot give you anything but my love and affection.
Let me tell you this, guys. I am going to go and lick my wounds because Team Lydia, you guys tell us. You guys tell us. But thank you so much. You participated. You came in second.
Yes.
So
that
shout
jumpsuit,
out.
I borrow it from you.
Thank thank you so much, guys,
anytime,
for being here. We're gonna have a fantastic weekend. We will be tweeting at the person who wins the tickets for Chipukizi. So make sure you stay there. The hashtag is EBRU Let's Talk. Until next Wednesday at 6 p.m. My name is Lydia KM.
My name is Dana DeGrazia.
And my name is Naomi Boyd.
And our beautiful guest.
I'm Sylvia Moraa.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.